Now even this pretty driveway's making me feel a little bit annoyed. At least we can walk through it as public. So this is Haeundae. Looking good, and we're just going to go up on this little coastal walk. There's a guy down here with a big rod fishing. The water's looking lovely and clear. This is clearly a really good fishing area because, I'm saying that, but there's a lot of seafood in the town, so it seems to be quite well known. A crow behind us. So this is a little coastal walk just off of the beach. Very pretty. And there's a mermaid on a rock. So we could be in Copenhagen. There's a little staircase going down to the rocks here. I think I'm going to go down there and see, get a bit of a closer look at the mermaid.
The original one was washed away in 1987.
So Michelle's reading up about the mermaid. Apparently there was an original one here that washed away in 87, so this one replaced it. Looks like a bronze. Anyway, let's go down and have a look. I'm going down. You staying up?
I'm staying up. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit. Let's go out and see the mermaid. So little steps, little rock steps. And then sort of a little rocky outcrop. Oh. So here she is. Here she is. So it is bronze. Very beautiful. You can get a feeling of the scale. Let me just get down onto this little rocky bit here. That is really nice. And the sea here, there's a lot of seaweed, but look how crystal clear the water is. Now I've said about this ever since we got to South Korea, just how clean the country is. And I made a little video about there are no waste paper baskets or garbage cans in the town, but there's no rubbish. But also look at the sea. No bottles, no plastic canisters or bags. And this is a seaside port, so it really is testament to how clean the Korean people are keeping their environment. And don't forget, there are almost no garbage rubbish bins, as we would call them. There are no rubbish bins. This whole walk along this coast here, there's almost nowhere to put your rubbish, so they're taking it home with them and disposing of it. It's really beautiful. Hello. Hello. So from the coast you can see this sort of slick that runs out towards this statue in the sea here. I don't know how well you'll see it with this camera. So we've got the mermaid down here, and I'm not sure if those little ring of buoys which you can see off in the far distance there, whether or not they might be nets, and whether actually I think it might be some seaweed. They're farming some seaweed. They do harvest a lot of seaweed here and sell it in the town centre, so it's possible as sort of seaweed farm of some sort. Your guess is as good as mine. Comments, let me know what you think. Let's go to the top and carry on round. I'm not sure how many kilometres or miles this walk is. Looks a fair old walk. It looks very pretty. Oh look, there is a bridge. But look down here. Bridge is lovely, but look down here. That's lovely rock beach. Now, let me know your thoughts. To me, a rock beach is 100 times a sand beach. I just prefer them. And I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, But comment down below, would you prefer a rock beach or a sand beach? I'm going to be honest, for me a rock beach every time. I love rocky beaches. Pebbles. What about you, Michelle?
I like the look of sandy beaches, but pebbly beaches. This is a bit rocky. I think this is not what I call pebbly.
No, it's not pebbly, but it's rocky, and there'll be all sorts of life on a beach like that. Yeah, sandy beaches look nice, but my heart always misses a beat when I see a beach like this. And when I see a sandy beach, I'm just thinking sand getting in everywhere. I'm grumpy when it comes to sand beaches, but let's get across this suspension bridge.
In case you don't want to go across the suspension bridge, you can
Oh yeah, some people don't want to, so you can go round. And do you know why they don't want to? Because at some stage I can see glass floors.
Oh, it's not just glass floors.
Does that bother you?
I'll walk on this side.
That bothers you?
No,
Go on then, go on, go.
I can be brave.
Go.
I'll be brave.
What you got your hands out for? You see, that doesn't trouble me at all, but I guess it does some people. See, Michelle's gone round the glass. But look. Wow. And the bridge is bouncing. So the bridge is bouncing. I don't like heights, by the way. I'm not a big height fan, but my mind kind of tells me when something's secure, it's secure. It doesn't trouble me at all. But I can see why, because as you walk across this suspension bridge, there's actually a bounce in the bridge. And so, because they realise a lot of people won't like that, they've given a little walk around. That's very considerate. Nurimaru Apex House and the Lighthouse Observatory. Hello. What a lovely walk. Reminds me a little bit of Noosa.
It does, doesn't it?
But different. Noosa is in Queensland, in Australia. So it reminds me a little bit, but it is quite a bit different. I think it's mainly different because the trees are different. They do have that sort of Korean feel to them, the trees. So here's my rocky beach, again spotlessly clean. I'm even starting to get warm. It was freezing this morning. So is that an alternate way? I'm going this way. I've left Michelle, I've abandoned her. She's going rock climbing, I'm going stair climbing. Hello. This is such a pretty little walk. There's a tree there under a bit of support. It is a lovely walk, it's very peaceful. What day are we today, Michelle? We are Wednesday? Tuesday. So we're midweek, Tuesday. Now there's a lot of older folk walking this coastline, and it could be because it's midweek, most people are working, but it also goes to show that they're out and about, keeping healthy, keeping fit. Now I didn't expect to come for a walk today, so we haven't brought any water with us, so we'll have to, there's nowhere to actually get a drink along here, so it is getting quite getting dry.
No, we didn't bring water. One layer, just one layer.
Michelle's taking a layer off. It's cold in Korea in March. Very cold. Not necessarily freezing cold, but it gets down close to the sort of freezing levels. So we've got a lot of layers on to keep warm, and it's necessary, or you need a big coat, which we haven't got with us. Nice shopping trolley. Now put a mint in my mouth. Bad timing, but we've just come to this beautiful view, the lighthouse, but over here, gorgeous view, one I didn't expect to see. Sorry about the mint. So how beautiful is this? And slightly unexpected. Come in here, Michelle. Let's get our selfie. Everyone's selfieing in this corner. So we're selfie filming. Pinch my bum. So I don't know what this round building is. It's maybe a museum or library or something. And I think what you can do is you can do that little coastal walk we've done and then go back through some gardens. So we're going to head back that way. Now, would you believe it? We're right up here. We meet an Australian couple from Melbourne. But I'll be honest, the most unpleasant lady. I'm just walking off down here, calling them out because I said, "Oh, hi, where are you from?" "Oh, it's a small world." "Oh, it's not small enough," she said. And she was just outright so rude. So rude. The guy was quite pleasant from Werribee, they were in Melbourne. The lady was just like a viper. She just had she didn't want to talk. She was like really aggressive. And he was chatting to me, just saying, we're just talking about where you've been, what you're doing. And she called him away, like, "Wow, come over here," you know. And what is it strange how some people are. Now I'll give people the excuse of the occasional day when they're a bit grumpy, but I got a feeling by the look of this lady's face, she's like that all the time. Okay, so the building that you saw, the big round building from the coast there, is apparently the APEC building. It was built for an APEC meeting, I think about 15 years ago, and they've had 2 meetings since. So, APEC Korea. So imagine, this building was built for a meeting of the APEC group. These are a bunch of government officials. And so, this room, you have Peru, the Philippines, Russia, New Zealand, Singapore, Chinese Taipei, Thailand, the United States, Vietnam, Korea, Chile, Australia, Brunei, Australia, man, China, Hong Kong, stroke China, Canada, Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia, and Mexico. This was built for a meeting of the APEC governments. It cost millions, I think billions perhaps even, of dollars to build this, and they've used it for 2 meetings. Makes my blood boil. It should make our blood boil, really, because the money that is spent. I was just saying to the little one here, I was just saying, at least it's open to the public. You can come in and have a look. You can't walk on the expensive carpet, but the money that was spent to build this multi-story building on the coast here for 2 meetings. Surely, tell me that couldn't have gone into a hospital or a school. When did politicians become so important and so privileged? I thought being a politician was to serve your country and to get a modest salary, to make decisions to benefit the majority of people. That's what I thought. That's what I think all of us think government's about. But when did government become so important? When did politicians become so important that they have a building like this built for them for 2 meetings in I think about 15 years or so, 2 meetings in this room? It's another world, and it's not right. I'm coming back in here. I want to say something else. This is just one building. This is just one building of many hundreds, perhaps even thousands of buildings that have been built around the world.
Our national leaders are put under pressure to make sure PNG successfully hosts the leaders' meeting.
Firstly, APEC House is ahead of schedule. and it's looking really good. For me, my first APEC was as a representative for Papua New Guinea 20 years ago, and to see some of the best APEC venues and some of the not so good, this is right up there with any of the best APEC venues that I've ever worked on.
If this is an example of what our politicians, you know that your prime ministers is just the minister above a minister. So basically, when you go into politics, you become a minister to serve your constituency, and you get voted a little level above that to be head of that group. You're just the prime minister or the president of a country. So you are just a politician meant to be serving the people of your country. So at the point, and I say this is nothing to do with South Korea, this is nothing to do with where I am now. These buildings are being erected in every country in the world like palaces. Billions and billions of dollars. Now, a part of me says if they serve some other function, then it's not a bad thing. Although, to be honest, 9 times out of 10 they don't serve another function. But a big part of me says this stuff should stop happening. It just shouldn't happen. Shouldn't happen anywhere. This godlike status that we're giving to politicians is just crazy. It's not spoiled my morning, but it's sort of it makes me think. Should make us all think. Things have to change. Things must change. The world is meant to be an equal world for everybody. And when you go into politics, you go in as a civil servant. That means to serve the civilians. You're meant to be paid a salary that is equal to the work that you're doing, and you're meant to live a lifestyle of somebody who is a civil servant, not live like a sort of superstar, god-like figure. Does anyone disagree with that? Please tell me. Explain to me how I should be thinking another way. So APEC, the G8, the United Nations, the lists go on and on of these groups that these bureaucratic groups they keep making up to make sure that the world's a better place for us all. Thoughts, comments? Now even this pretty driveway's making me feel a little bit annoyed. At least we can walk through it as public. At least it's open to the public. And it's serving some use. Unlike that building, which they do have some, I think in the lower basement floors, they have some meeting rooms and things. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to rant because it's just too nice a day. But you know where I'm coming from. You can carry this on down in the comments as long as it's nice. The politicians do have to clean up their act, but to be honest, don't let it. I think in life you've just got to let this stuff roll sometimes, and I know that's not necessarily the best way of thinking about things, but you can spend your whole life getting anxious about it and upset about it, or you can get on and enjoy life and just be aware that this stuff goes on, and if there's anything we can do to try and make things better, it'll be good. But in the meantime, we've just found ourselves a cool little exercise area. You're working out. So this is the toilet chain flushing exercise. So you know the old toilet chains, some of you might remember them. Yeah, this is building up those.
No, I'm working the toilets up there.
It's actually up in the APEC building. The toilets are flushing like crazy. Now this is interesting. Now I did wonder what that was for, and I may still be wondering because like this. Is that what that's for? Feels nice. I'm not sure. Comment down below. Is that what that's for? Jump on this one, Michelle. These ones always are good for a giggle.
For a giggle.
That's it.
No, but that other guy was swinging on it. This is the one he was swinging on.
So there are all sorts of little exercise machines. You've got these sort of things here where you sort of swing your hips, you stand on.
Just to prove you've done some.
Yeah, so this one you sort of swing your hips from side to side. Oh, that feels kind of strange. I tell you, when I got off the wiggly side to side thing, my equilibrium was all a bit messed up, like I got off a boat. This is all very good. I love these. We have these in Australia as well, these outdoor sort of gym areas. You have these where you are? You should have. Note to self. So in life you need somewhere that visually excites you. You need exercise. You need places you can get out and walk. So the weather has to be, or at least you have to be geared up to walk. That is really good. Little exercise area. You need visual stimulation, things to see, whether it be nature, whether it be people, cafes, sitting out. There's not much you need in life, unless you're a politician. Share the love. Share this video with your friends and family, and we will see you very shortly. Take care from South Korea.
Happy birthday to me.